Hello everybody, it's Venus from Heart's Desire by Venus, and I am here. I'm hiding out in my basement today because it is scorching hot here in BC, 44 degrees Celsius right now. So I thought, what better time than to be down in my basement in my studio and doing some work. So for those of you who are following, last video I did a faux wooden cover for an Alice in Wonderland themed journal that I'm working on. I'm using some paper kit from Line Dot Arrow. You can see there. Her new Alice in Wonderland themed journal kit. What I am making is these cute cards. Well, tags, cards, I don't know what you want to call them, but they're windows. So basically, I'll start with this one. You know, you can see it's a tag. But you open it up and you can see that there is different layers. I'm going to go slow enough for the camera to pick up. So that's the one side. Fold it back up and then you can go the other side. So when you lay it all flat, it's got that 3D tunnel look on there. This is the other one that I did. I'll just open it slowly this way. You can see. And trying to let the camera pick up here. Slowly this way. So I tried to layer on both sides, but to give it that tunnel look. So I'm going to show you today how I did these. Let's see. So in her kit, she had this page. I'm not sure if it was meant to be cut apart or not, but I thought this is perfect to make a trifold card or tag or card, I guess, either way. So I printed it on one side, and then what I printed was just another piece from the kit on the back side. Pretty simple so far. So then I cut it all out, folded, scored it on the lines, inked it up the usual, and here is what it looks like after when I've cut. So what I did to cut, I will just grab them for you. I used some nesting dies. Now you don't have to, and I actually didn't even have a full set of nesting that went small enough. You could use also whatever shape you wanted. You could just cut it and then cut the same image a little smaller. If you did a square or circle, that'd be easy enough. The possibilities are endless, but this is what I used, was a Spellbinder's nesting die. I just liked the shape of this. So what I did was the first layer here is larger than the rest. What I wanted to do was to mimic Alice in Wonderland looking in a tunnel. So I made them smaller and smaller. Now this one here, I did the wrong way. I did the 3 sizes. You can see the tiny one in there. But this one, I only did, wrong way again. This one, I did 1 large one, 2 of the same size, but I layered it up like it was 3 different sizes. And I found that that worked the best for me. So that's what I'm going to do here again. So I cut the first one. Basically what I did is when I put it in my big shot, I had it folded out like this. I put my first one in, and then I just kind of folded all these in because they weren't cut yet over the top. And then I cut it. So what happens when you do that, I don't know if the camera is going to allow me to pick up, but maybe on the tea-dyed side here. Yeah. See, when you do that, it kind of embosses around the hole. So that's for 2 effects. When I go and ink this, you'll be able to pick some of that up, but also that kind of gave me a marker as to where, as you can see it's here again so slightly, as to where to put the die. And basically then when I went to do the second one is I folded it, laid this in the middle, again did the same thing, folded it flat, ran it through, did that for the three cards. I did 2 sizes, 1 large, 2 medium. So now I'm just going to ink this all up because you know how to do that. You don't need me to show you. I'm going to ink it all up, and then I'm going to show you what I did next. All right, all inked up and ready to go. Now you can really see when I've inked it, the embossing part there from the way I layered and cut them, which I think adds to this for sure. So what you have to decide is which way you're going to have your tag. I chose to go this way. I mean, you could, in theory, do plain front, do it that way, but I chose to go for pattern and on the top and the bottom. So next step, I like to work from the bottom out because I am creating a window. I kind of feel that this allows me to get the perspectives right. So what I did is I found my image that I want for the very bottom part. So that is going to be the part right here that's peeking through your window. So I decided I want this image. And basically, I just cut it out bigger than the hole, obviously, to put it in. And I'm just going to make sure it's there. So you don't have to worry, because I'm going to be covering the whole back. So I'm not worried about this part being plain. I'm just going to run some two-sided tape, if I can get it, just on the edges here. That'll allow it to stick. Need my pointy thing. And I'm just going to line it up where I want it. And I want Humpty Dumpty to be kind of in the top quadrant, so. All right, so it's in. It's good. They're all clearing on the sides. And like I said, we're going to cover the back, so that's not a big deal. So how I like to do that next is before I decorate any more here around this image, I like to get my next layers kind of in position so that you don't put something in a spot where it's not going to be seen. So on the next layer, I've got these mushrooms that I want there, and I'm just going to put a little piece of fabric underneath. Because this is the point to do your underlayering, obviously. So before I glue it down though, I like to make an idea. Okay, so that looks good. When it's got it closed, you'll see part of it sticking out, and so it gives you that 3D effect. So now I'm just going to glue this down with some clear glue. And so when you do the fussy cuts, remember you're going to see it from both sides sometimes. So I just distress the back just ever so slightly so that you know, whatever you see, it's not glaringly white. I mean, you could do it, I suppose, after the fact, but it's just easier to do it beforehand. So now I'm just going to glue down my mushrooms. So I'm just doing the basics because I will go back in and add all the fine details after, but you want to make sure you've got the layering going right. And then this I want kind of here, but I want it kind of just ever so slightly. So when you close the front, you'll see it a bit. Okay, so that's just going to peek over again. Make sure you got your part all covered. And I'm just going to run some clear glue again, because it also gives you a little bit of time to play with it. And I'm just going to make sure I burnish it down good. Okay, so then I'm going to do the next layer. So this one, I've got Alice, which is going to be peeking. Oh, and see, I didn't even follow my own advice. I didn't even do the back side of Alice here to make sure she's colored. Okay, so I'm going to do something kind of, I don't know if I want her feet in front of or behind. I think I want her feet behind. And I want her to kind of be looking up at Humpty Dumpty there. And I'm going to add another mushroom right in there. So I'm going to stick Alice down first. And I think in her case, I'm going to put some tape right down the one side of her. I'll glue down the extra flap after. I'm just not sure how far in it's going to go because I don't want to glue my tag shut. So I'll put her there. And then, yeah, see, I can see a little spot. Just a little squirt of glue in there. And then you see, just wipe away the extra so that it's not sticking on everything. And then I'm going to do the grass, which this I'm just going to glue it down. Over top. And while it's still wet, I'm just going to stick my mushroom underneath there. Okay. And then for the last layer part, I'm going to just do something like that at the top. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that. And just let it stick over a little bit. Okay, so now you can see you got your beginning of your 3D effect, which really wasn't hard. But you got to remember, too, is your tag is going to open this way. So I like to decorate a little bit here and here. So I've got, what else have I got here? Got a few more mushrooms. I think those are too big, but I might put these ones kind of here around it. Now with these ones on the side, because you're going to see it from both sides, again, you want to make sure you're covered with some ink. But on the inside here, this is where I like to add a little bit of lace and a little bit of fabric. Just adds to it and on here. And it's really just little snippets, because I'm going to go back over it and I'm going to put some words or something on here as well. But I just put a little frayed piece of fabric down. I think I'm going to do it that way. And then this just kind of makes it look like there's a mushroom in behind still. So I'm just going to glue this down. And then glue my mushrooms on top. And then I'm going to do a few bases around here as well. Just age them up a little bit. And again, I'm going to do another piece of frayed fabric. And some more mushrooms, but just off to the side a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to let this dry because I don't want to close it all up and have it all stick together. When it's dry, I will come back and show you what else I did. Okay, so what I did is I went and put, some few words in here with a little piece of trim. I did that, some lace and trim here and some words. I did that again on the other side here just to fancy it up a little bit. And now all I have left is to do this. You could, in theory, just print out another one of these tags and cut it out and glue it on the back, but I haven't have a piece of paper left. So basically I'm just going to lay down my tag here. This is the back part. I'm just going to line it up. Get my head out of the camera there. Just going to line it all up, and I'm just going to trace around and cut it out. Once I've done that, I'll be right back. Okay, so I just trace it around, cut it out, and of course, got a little piece back here, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to distress that a little bit so it looks like it's supposed to be there. And I'm just going to adhere this on. So all I'm going to do is some two-sided tape on all the sides here. Make sure I got it all the way on the sides, and then just a couple of pieces down the middle. You could wet glue this or whatever.